What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to our channel here at Vagabond Builds. And today what we're going to be doing is an installation video on a Power Frunk and Power Trunk on a 2019 June Tesla Model 3. Now, this does work for all Model 3s from 2017 over to 2020. And just to start this off is that it is from Hansshow. And if you guys do happen to buy through our channel, you guys get 10% off through our coupon code, and that's in the description below. It really helps us out. So if you guys do like our content, please like the video, subscribe to our channel because it really helps us out. We're going to be doing a step-by-step tutorial on how to install this whole system. Now, just to show you guys, we got a LED light strip to light up your front trunk. And then, of course, you have everything else like your shocks for the hood. Both of them are here. You got your harnesses, your plugs, and then you have the latch that we're going to be changing. And then, of course, things like manual hood latch, detach buttons, and detach wires and things of that sort. So we truly appreciate your guys' time being here and watching our video. If you got something for us to film, here's our email below. Email us so we could talk details later. Now let's go ahead and get this video started. All right, so to kick off this video, what we're going to be doing is they do have a step-by-step instruction sheet, but it's not exactly how to take off panels and things of that sort. So that's what I'm going to be showing in the video. So following the instruction sheet is we're going to be taking off this panel first, and that's pop up. Clips, you're going to just pop them up. Second panel is going to be this little AC vent panel, and this is also 4 clips. We're going to pop up like that. Very nice and easy. You want to do this with finesse. Don't force anything. Then also we're going to take off the cover from the hood latch, and you're going to also pop up. Remove this plug. Now what we're going to do is remove this whole tub, and that's 7 screws, size 10. So I have an electric drill, size 10, but you guys can also use just a regular ratchet. And now we're open to the situation of where we're going to be changing the hood latch and things of that sort. But to first start off with, what we're going to be changing are the struts or shocks right here. And we're going to be changing the little brackets that they sit in here. So these right here and the struts. And let me show you guys how that looks in our kind of parts inventory. And these right here, right? And also these 2 little brackets right here. So we're going to be changing that. Let's go ahead and do that. So now, going to remove the struts, what you're going to do, there's this little kind of sheet metal C clamp there. You're going to lift that up, and that's going to allow this strut to pop off that little ball joint right there, whatever you want to call it. And there's one down here also, little sheet metal thing, and that's going to allow it to pop. So now your struts are off. So you want to set these aside, don't throw them away. Make sure that you keep these just in case you want to go back to the original setup. We're going to set that aside for now. And we're going to replace one at a time. So as you're replacing them, you don't want to do both at a time, because then you're going to have either, you could put up like a piece of wood or a broomstick or something to kind of keep that hood up. Make sure you don't puncture your hood. But I'm going to do one at a time just for that reason, because that's holding it up for now. We're going to change this and then put the new electric strut on. Let's go ahead and do that also. Okay, so now that we're going to be replacing these, one thing I want to show you guys is that you have a R for right, and the other one is left, L for left on these. And pretty much it's as you're sitting inside the car, and if you're sitting in the driver's side, the right side is your passenger side, and the left side is your driver's side. So we're going to be installing now the passenger side being the right. That's how it looks, just like that. Right, side up, all right. And these are size 13 for anybody that wants to know. Size 13, you're gonna be needing a size 13 socket. Okay. All right, so we got that bracket on, two size 13 nuts. All right, and you have that little arrow on this little bracket. Let me show you guys. There's a little arrow on this bracket, and that's kind of pointing up, so this little ball joint or whatever is pointed out away from the car. Of course, that slipped and fell, but we're going to be installing now the strut. All right, so the part with the wire, what you're going to be doing is this part with the wire is going to be the part towards the bottom. And all you got to do is just push that in. Turn that, you're going to drop that hood a little bit. And now you have the strut popped on, plug and play pretty much. Let's go ahead and do the other side the exact same way. All right, so now the struts themselves are placed with the bracket size 13. We're gonna continue. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now after replacing the struts, we're going to go ahead and place this on. This is your emergency cable unlock, and this is the trunk electric cable that's gonna be overlapping the original one. So let's go ahead and show you guys how to do that. We're gonna remove this screw, remember on the passenger side, screw on the passenger side. This is the original screw, don't lose it. And what you're going to do is, see this bracket right here, this kind of C-shaped bracket? That little lip right there has to go inside that little hole, okay? And what you're gonna do is you're going to have to turn this bracket to get that in, and then turn that bracket over to where that hole meets that original screw placement. Just like this. All right. Okay, that's it. And see this little bracket right here? It's kind of like L-shaped bracket. This little rectangle piece is going to connect to where this original spring is. So we're going to remove this original spring. Now, you can use a pair of pliers, like a pair of needle nose pliers, or you could just use your finger if you're strong enough. Like that, and it pops off just like that from hook to hook. Now, this little bracket here is going to literally slide in to this side. Just like this, okay? All right, and what we're going to be doing is replacing this original with the one that Hansshow offers you. And voila. All right, so now that the spring is installed and we have this, what I kind of did here, everybody, was I tightened this little wire here, and the way you tighten that little wire is if you're messing with these two little nuts on this tread, and you're going to be able to pull this wire back, see that, and then tighten that there, and make sure that here is tight. So just so you don't have any slack when that trunk is opening, you pull that wire back just until you start to see a little tug on that. Okay, you want to tighten this little nut here. And after, tighten the opposition nut, and we're going to tighten that. But for now, we're going to leave that. We're going to tighten that once we regulate the frunk lift gate later. So we just got rid of that slack there. Okay, now that we have that done, this typically is going to be zip tied right under this little mechanism here. Okay, and you have certain places, I mean, you could work, there's little holes here that you can maybe zip tie to. So just kind of get an idea of how or exactly where you would like that to be placed. It's up to you. Maybe you could zip tie it maybe even to that, like if you have your front bumper off or something, you can even zip tie it to that bumper reinforcement, or just simply zip tie it right here to these screws somehow, just like that. If you want to do that, that's also a possibility. So it just kind of sits there. And we're going to zip tie that. And here is your emergency release latch. And you're going to run this here. You're going to pop this toe cap off. All right. And this is what the toe cap looks like. And once you pop that toe cap, we're going to run that emergency release wire. And just like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to zip tie this emergency release wire over also to this mechanism here. So just in case the motor burns out or anything and you need to reach over and it's not opening or something, you're going to zip tie this over to that little mechanism. So you also have that option of manually opening this. That's pretty cool. But also going to do that. Let's go ahead and do that. Zip tie that. Zip tie this, and we're going to continue with the harnesses. All right, so we zip tied this. It's pretty much, I put 4 zip ties in. I actually put some zip ties that I bought at the nearest Harbor Freight store, and I put some thicker zip ties and just made it a very sturdy hold, 2 on each side, and I grabbed the whole mechanism there, and I ran it through the little holes, and I zip tied it over to the harnesses and all that stuff, just kind of give it more support. I ran that emergency hood latch wire right here, and I zip tied it to the original Tesla. So we're gonna slip that back in, very nice and easy, just like that. All right, so now we're pretty much done with the installation of the mechanicals. What we're gonna do is now install the harnesses, and I'm going to try to make it as clear as possible for you guys, just so you guys get an idea of how exactly to start installing this. So you typically have two main harnesses here. These are like the 2 longest ones, right? So you're gonna have the one that connects to the box with the big square. Then you have the other one that is a little bit longer, but just has 5 plugs on it. And then you have these little small ones right here. You have this one that's gonna hook up to the battery, to the red terminal, and this is going to plug in also to the harness with all the white plugs on it, and this is going to stick onto your chassis itself. But let me go ahead and show you guys. So you could also do a process of elimination. What we're going to do is we're going to just kind of install it right there. You have stickers to stick this on, all right? And we're going to plug this in, and as you plug it in, you're going to have to slide this lever closed, and it locks into place. There's a clip right there. All right. Instead of there's just kind of an idea, you can like set it up to where you just pretty much test your location. And this long black wire that you see right here, is going to be your negative, okay? The long, skinny black wire that comes off the harness that plugs in to the controller box. This is going to slip in right here on that negative. Now let's go ahead and show you guys that. Just pop it up just a little bit to where you can slide that in and drop that screw back down. Okay, make sure it's tight. All right, and we're pretty much done with that. We're gonna zip tie these wires to give it more of a clean look later after we're done. All right, so we can just slip that there. All right, so also we're gonna move along with connecting the struts themselves, okay? So you have D3 and D4 that are gonna be the plugs off the controller box harness that plug into your struts. So D3 and D4. D3 is going to be a set. We're going to plug that in. All right. And then D4 is going to be a set. And we're going to extend this wire. But what we want to do is I'm going to try to tuck it away so it gives it more of a cleaner look. So if you do happen to pop something, if you do happen to pop that box off, just kind of mess with it, MacGyver it away to where you can get it to a place where it looks very clean. We're going to go under the plastic. All right, go behind that. You just run it back here, just like that. And we'll plug the controller box, we'll plug it in. We'll go under the harness of the battery. And then we're just gonna plug it in together. There you go. And you gotta hear clips as you're plugging them in. Okay, this one we're actually gonna unplug real quick and we're going to go also under the plastic. There you go. Make sure you're not kinking that wire and then plug it in again. Make sure you hear the clicks. Right, and we're going to just attach these wires and probably snug them in somewhere. We're gonna zip tie them, clean them up, and then snug them in somewhere just like that. So you get a clean look. Makes it look like it's original or OEM with the car. Controller box still in its place. Now, let's go ahead and start attaching this wire itself with the brown/purple plug. That's going to go along the box and it's going to plug into your mechanism here under the one that we zip tied on. Make sure you hear a clip. Okay, we got the clip. That's all plugged in, right? And now you have one left on that controller box harness. Now what that one left is going to do is it's going to plug in right into this little fuse. So the car doesn't short. What this is that it has its own little fuse. Let me go ahead and open that. Own little fuse right there. So if something happens with this and it shorts out, it's not going to burn anything else. It's going to pop the fuse before it ruins anything else. So that's the safety of this. It's going to slip right in, clip in, and that's going to run over to the red terminal of the battery. Let's go ahead and plug that in. All right, we're going to slip it in. You could go under or over to the side. I'm going to go over to the side with it. Kind of over to the side and under. Okay. Drop that over. We're going to drag that harness over. Let's give it a nice clean look. Make sure everything's all together. All right. And we're pretty much done with that part. What I'm going to do is now plug and play this other long harness. Now, if you guys are in the Sacramento area, Bay Area, and you guys need someone to do the installation, I am more than open to doing it. You could email us with our email below, and we will be more than happy to talk details out and do the installation for the guys or the people who want to buy this through the channel and get it installed. All right, this plug right here hooks up to that last or second to the last plug on the harness. Here a clip, click. All right. We're going to start plugging these in. So the ones with the blue right here, okay, the ones with the blue are going to unplug down here on this little unlock mechanism right here. And you're going to unplug the OEM one, the original, and that's going to plug in into the harness they're giving you. Oops, sorry, wrong way. All right, get it clipped in, and that's going to plug in to the original mechanism here. Okay, we got the click. That's all plugged in. We're going to run the other long part here, these two plugs, and that's going to plug in right in here. And it's gonna, plug in this one first. And then this one plugs into the original, just like that. All right. Actually, you know what? I like it better if it goes under the locking mechanism. All right. Drop this down. Main concern is also to not interfere with that placement of the front frunk space. All right. We're pretty much done with that, okay? So we got that all plugged in, and we have one left. This here, sensor, whatever you want to call it, that literally falls into play here, clicks in, and what we're going to do is we're going to clean the surface of the body with a rag or something, and we're going to stick it here or somewhere that it just looks original and clean, and we're going to stick that there, and we're going to stick the box with the sticky pads. Sticky pads, okay? You're gonna stick the box with the sticky pads, and it's kind of like a Velcro. I mean, it's not a Velcro type thing. Yeah, more of a sticky pad. But you're gonna stick that on, and you could also fortify it with zip tying it to the car itself. We're gonna zip tie this controller box after we clean up all the harnesses and all that stuff. And then we're going to reinstall everything the same way we took it back off. So pretty much everything's done, everybody. Let's go ahead and clean it all up, install everything, and test it. Okay, so before we install everything, I just want to show you guys how I ran the harnesses, zip tied them, stuck sensor right here on the body, make sure that was very secure, cleaned the surface, ran the zip ties through here, and then just zip tied them, ran them with the rest of the harnesses on the car, so it kind of gives it a more of a cleaner look. I kind of like things a little bit more neat. A lot of wires, so might not seem too clean, but we don't want to leave them like just flopping around. Zip tie these also, ran that wire through the back, and then here's your fuse running off that positive terminal. Put that positive terminal cap back on, and pretty much we're done. And let's go ahead and start. Let's actually test it before we install everything. Let's do that. All right, guys, so did the test. Want to show you guys on the video. What you do to set this box here is blinking light. You're gonna do your reset button, you press and hold, and by each sound, so you're gonna get a first sound, that's the first speed. Second sound, it's a little bit faster. Third sound, it's gonna be a few beeps. It's gonna be even faster than the second, and so forth. Let's go ahead and show you guys how it looks. Automatic open, and all you got to do is press your frunk button. Even if it states it's open, you press it again and it closes it automatically. So now let's go ahead and reinstall everything, and we're going to drop some LED lighting or ambient lighting inside the car. All right, everybody, so we're going to put this LED strip in, all right, inside the frunk, and we hooked up that relay down here, and on that relay I used my own size 10 screw to hook up to a screw that is empty. It's an original Tesla OEM empty area for a size 10 screw. So I hooked up that relay to that original area. And of course you have the harness that comes off the relay, and you're going to plug that harness in to the original trunk light little button. And we're gonna run that on the side so it doesn't interfere. And this goes up. So we're gonna install that box. And what I also did is I ran the other part where you hook up the harness to the negative terminal. And what I did is I ran the negative terminal to the passenger side ground. And then I ran this over behind the vent with where the fuse is at. Here, the 20 amp fuse right under that cap. And we're gonna hook that up to the battery itself. and that's going to turn on our ambient light or LED strip lights when we open the trunk itself. Let's go ahead and install that box. Make sure you're not getting it mixed up. With the latch itself. I want to make sure it's all out of the way. All right, now pretty much that's where we're at with this. Slide that in. Okay, and we're going to plug in this little harness, over to this right here, okay? All right. Make sure that's snug in there. And we're gonna run this. Actually, let's try to, you're going to have to kind of set it up however you like it. I'm trying to get the cleanest job possible. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run it to where it does not interfere with my latch again. Oh. Yep. Make sure that's all clean. And what this is gonna do is it's going to slip right under here. All right, everybody, so we tucked in the rest of that strip, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so we're pretty much done. We're going to install the vent cap, of course, with that other cap, and you're pretty much done with the whole full installation. Thanks so much, guys. Comments, questions, concerns in the comment section below. Of course, if you guys are in Sacramento or greater Sacramento area or like Bay Area and you guys want an installation for an automatic frunk, email us and we are totally open to doing it. Thanks so much. Remember, buy through our channel, 10% off. We appreciate your guys' help and support through our channel. Thanks so much, guys. Stay tuned. We got more things coming.